right away.
All right, so we'll see how this sounds later.
Yeah.
That was the what?
I'm excited for it.
I'm excited too, man.
Yeah.
That was the intro, but I put it on the song instead of trying to hold my phone like a douchebag. All right, so this is the Psychotic Strength podcast. I'm Tyler Townsend.
I'm Brandon.
Martin Geronimo.
Nice, man. We're all here. It's the September 29th. It's been a while since we got in here, but it's all right, man. Yeah, we've all just been having sex, and you've been killing deers.
Just shooting stuff, and
I don't know if you're having sex with deer.
no.
Oh man.
No, just working. That's basically what it is, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
Having COVID too.
Oh, you had COVID. That's right.
Sucks.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
Man.
I'm good now.
You're
It's
good?
been a couple weeks,
good.
so I'm good. Yeah, man, it was miserable, dude. Just those having all those symptoms all at once is what I had. Miserable.
Yuck.
In bed all day. Body aches.
Both my
coughing.
sisters had it. They've talked about how shitty it is, man.
Yeah.
It just doesn't sound like a fun thing.
No, man, I've never been that sick before.
Yeah.
And COVID, oh yeah, it hit
That's
hard.
the real deal. I believe that, you know. But
Yeah, it's a shitty flu.
yeah,
Definitely is.
Really
Yeah.
flu.
I never said it wasn't real. I just don't really give a shit.
You're right.
You know, like I had it the November before everybody came out and was like COVID, because I mean it put me down for like 3 days. I
Right.
couldn't even move. I couldn't
Yeah,
get out of
that's
bed.
what it was, dude.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That was shit. Shivers, all that crap, dude. But I haven't had it since. My wife got it. She was down hard.
Yeah.
And then
It's
my
crazy
daughter.
you didn't get it, huh? You didn't.
No, I'm a man.
It's crazy. How'd you get the first time then? Were you not a man before?
No, I just became one. I got my man card. No, it's I tell everybody it's because I'm immortal, and then my kids are fine because they're half me,
They're happy.
Okay.
Right on.
right? I guess
That's
I
how
don't
it
know,
works.
but I already had it. That is a good point.
That's-
Yeah,
the antibodies, man. That's what it was.
it really is. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how the human body works.
Right.
It just, anyways, yeah, the vaccines and shit. Everybody's getting those. She's trying to convince me to do it. And,
Oh yeah. I had all those thoughts in my head when I was laying in bed, man. I was just like, is it really worth it? Is it something I should do? But it's just because those symptoms, man. They were bad. Really, like I couldn't talk, because if I would talk, I'm just coughing my lungs out. I couldn't move. I couldn't sleep. It was horrible, dude.
Any residuals?
No, not
That's
after
good.
that. Yeah, everything just died down. So. I'm good.
yeah, I don't know, man. Just because, like I said, I think I've said before, my mother and father-in-law had it, right? And they had the vaccine first, right? And then they got it. And my wife's like, oh, well, it would have been worse if they didn't have the vaccine. I'm like, I don't think that's how it works, dude. You know? Like, I think you either get it or you don't.
Yeah.
And the vaccine's supposed to make sure you don't get it, not make it not as bad. Is that how it works?
Shit, I don't know, man. It depends on whether you're listening to what news channel you're listening to on what
Okay.
day, really. I think is the thing. You know, I think the general consensus coming out now with this whole vaccine thing is it's supposed to lessen the symptoms, but you can still get it. You can still give it to people. So, like, what's the point of getting the vaccine if you're not, you know, if you're not really protected? I mean, obviously they're still shutting shit down and making you wear masks. So then there's that whole aspect of it.
Right.
What's the incentive for me to get this vaccine if it's not really going to work on anything?
Yeah, if it's not
kind
going to
of
work
deal?
and then you're going to shut everything down anyways?
You know, I don't know. I think
Fuck it.
just some type of, you know, consistent clarification on what the fuck we're supposed to do with this would
Yeah.
be really nice.
That'd be great. I mean, I still, every time I walk into anywhere, there's always a mask required sign. I don't, and I just keep it in my pocket, and I play that whole, oh, my bad, I forgot, right? Because if you ask me to put one on, I'll put it on, but being me, walking around, nobody seems to ask me to put one on ever, you know?
You know, it's funny, man. I find a mix of people really. I do the same thing. I'm the same way, man. And I'm all about, like, pro medical choice, right?
Right.
Like figure your own shit out. You do what you want to do, man. I don't give a shit. But if I walk into an establishment, you know, generally you either have people that just don't give a shit, or you have like the real Karens of the world, right? The people that just are just power trip hungry, that want, hey, put your mask on now, like
Yeah.
I'm trying to rob the place or something. You know?
Right, I always make them feel stupid because I'm like, I am doing it on purpose, right?
Right.
But at the same time, like, I'm like, oh, is that why everyone was looking at me weird? I'm so sorry. You know, and they're like it automatic, it just diffuses the entire situation.
Sure.
Like it was just an accident, and I have my mask, I put it on, right?
Yeah.
Like, if I didn't have a mask at all and I was like, fuck you, that'd be different. But I'm
Right.
also not going to be that guy,
Exactly.
right? If you want to fight me over it, we can fight, and then I'll put it on. You know what I mean? But, like, fuck it. Fuck it. So, let's do gym updates real quick. Your gym was 3 weeks of hiking and shit, huh?
Shit, dude, I lost about 15 pounds.
Jesus.
2 weeks. Yeah, man, I cut some weight for sure. It happens this time every year though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you were out of town?
I was elk hunting. I took off for 2 weeks, camped for about half of it, and then came home. But I'm up at 4 in the woods by 5:30 and home at 8. It was just
Yeah, you just
hustling,
trucking
man.
along,
Yeah,
trying to get
yeah.
something.
and had a great time. It's a lot of fun, man. But I can't even tell you how many miles I walked. So yeah.
I mean, just walking that long would suck if it was flat.
Right.
You're going through the mountains and
Go
shit.
through the mountains, got a pack on, carrying a bow. Yeah, it's a little bit of work, man. I shot that deer, and that sumbitch ran. Man, he went straight down into the thickest, nastiest hole you could even imagine. I mean, I'm no joke. I shot him across a canyon, little canyon. I was coming down the mountain, and I'm standing on the hillside. It's real steep down into this creek bottom, and I kicked them up. There's 3 of them, and they run up the hill on the other side. They're only 46 yards straight across, right? But it's probably about 100 yards to get down, back up the other side to where he was at, and I punched him right through the lungs. Real good shot on him, real solid. He stopped, was checking me out. I was other 2 just kicked out of there. They didn't want nothing to do with anything, and he stopped, looked at me, kind of took a peek at him. He was legit, and I shot him. He started up the hill where his buddies went, realized he couldn't breathe, and turned and just went straight down the mountain into the fucking nastiest thing. I mean, it was gross, man. It was gross. It took me 2 hours after I found him, gutted him to drag him out to the truck, man. It was a haul getting him out. They got him out whole, but that was nice, man. But it was work. It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
But so it was fun.
That's crazy. Lost 15 pounds doing it. Damn.
So it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing okay on the gym, my side. Back and forth, really trying to figure out a good time that works for me now. Wife's been throwing a fit about the nighttime. And if I'm there by myself or at night, a lot of the times I'll just fucking kick it.
Mm-hmm.
Just hang out and lift here, lift there. I'll be
Right.
home at like 2 in the fucking morning, like, because who gives a shit? Everyone's asleep already, right? But now I'm going at like, I tried 8 a.m., but by about 10, it starts filling up, and then I just start talking to everybody because I'm a fucking
You don't
social
leave.
butterfly.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't even do anything. I tried to work out with Craig, and he's hurt himself a couple times, and he likes to talk as well. You know?
Wasn't he going to compete? I remember last time we had him on a at a podcast. He was going to do one more competition.
He
before.
did. He
Oh,
did
he
that
did.
competition.
Oh, okay.
It just, he didn't post anything of it because I think he had said something about he was cheated about something. That would be a question for Craig. I don't want to say anything the wrong way because he's a good dude, but he's a little sensitive sometimes. Especially about himself. So, yeah, there's that. So now I'm working out at like 6 a.m., 6:30. Monday, Wednesday, Friday's lifting, and then at 6 in the morning on Tuesday, Thursday is kickboxing, and then Monday, Friday at night is kickboxing. So I'm trying to get ready for a fight at the end of the year, and I have to prove that I have the skill to stand in the ring first before my coach will get me one. So I tried to play the badass and tried to fight a bunch of people at once. Like, I was trying to fight 2 people versus me, or 3 maybe. Like, I don't fucking care. It's a lot easier for one to hit many, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's my always, I love it. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know, man. So we'll see how that shit goes. But gym's going okay. I'm losing fat, gaining muscle. I gained like 15 fucking pounds after that last cycle, and then I started this one, and it's a big one, man. It's another big one, but it's cutting.
Yeah.
It's a lot of cutting. So it's like Winnie Clan anastrozole, Tren, Test, all of it, man. Like, I'm just going for it. Fuck it, man. So, and then GH. I'm doing GH again, which is giving me those fucking sulfur burps.
Is it the burps again that were just
I think it's
burning
definitely this GH.
your mouth? Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's burning my mouth, my nostrils, everything. It comes out and it smells like a shit. And it tastes like a shit. Like, you ever licked a butthole that maybe you shouldn't have?
Never been there.
Oh.
I don't think I can say that.
Well, some people who are listening
yeah,
may be
some, I
there.
guess.
You ever lick a butthole and you're like, whoo, not going back down there. That's what it tastes like. Yeah, so.
Gotcha.
But that's where I'm at with it. But how have you been with the gym?
I've been going. I started going back. I did take off like right after that comp we had back in late June. What maybe took. It was going to be a week off.
Yeah,
just from comp, but it turned into 2 months off.
Yeah.
And then started slowly coming back. Here and there. Then got COVID. Then took another 2-3 weeks off of that, and slowly I'm going back again. I miss lifting heavy, dude.
Yeah.
For sure. Because I had that last time when I had the competition. My squats and deadlift were above 500. And I was happy where I was. But now getting back into the motion again. I'm still sticking to nights, so it's probably just the best time it works for me. But I know we're gonna start doing a little bit more cardio and getting up in the morning. So
right, we're gonna start trying to run Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or just cardio.
Or just cardio.
I don't know about running the whole fucking way, dude. Like,
yeah, it's just right. So that's we can do that, and then I know we talked about we wanted to slim down a little bit more, and that's kind of my goal. Because dude, when I was like right past that, since the competition, I've gained. I was at 255 the competition. I'm at almost 280. It's insane how much I gained.
I know we were talking about this. Months. Me and Martine had lunch today, and I never thought I'd be I'd weigh less than him.
Yeah.
And right now I'm at 265.
Wow. No, you're not.
Yes, I am. And that's with me gaining a couple pounds. I was at 260 a week ago.
What?
Yeah. So I'm trying to get down to 230. So I can do the middleweight fucking division.
You can do middleweight.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, dude, these guys are fucking monsters in heavyweight and super heavies. And there are no heavyweights. It's all super heavies. Mm-hmm. So you put me in there with the 6'4" assholes. Well, they're all nice guys. They really are. The bigger they are, usually the nicer. Yeah, the big guys. But it's just, I'm at a huge fucking disadvantage already. So I'd like to go against some normal-sized humans, because I am a normal-sized human. I mean, maybe not thickness-wise, but, height-wise, for sure.
Average man.
But, I think this is also, a really good example for... People think that people who lift, consistently and heavy and all that other shit don't have those, months of just not training, losing gains, getting weaker, getting fat, every bodybuilder has been fat again, and the thing is, the better you look at one time, the shittier you feel when you start gaining a little bit of weight, it's that body dysphoria crap. I'll never be satisfied. Never. Until I don't fit through a door either way. I don't give a shit which direction I'm pointed, I don't want to fit. I want to build my own door to get into a house, so.
Jeez,
but it's just, that's the way it is, man, and we're all human, most people.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, going to the gym isn't as intense as it was before, but,
You got to get another comp in the books, is what you got to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There was one later this year, but, man, I missed it, dude. Yeah,
it's ready
for that one.
I think there's a tested one in November. That you'd probably be pretty
well,
good
there's one at what is it? The Ugly Sweater.
Oh yeah,
something like that. Lift off or.
I think Brady was trying to get me to go to that.
Oh, he told you to go.
And everybody, they're trying to get me to go to that. I want to fight, dude. I want to fight so bad, just to fucking say I got in there and did it. That's really all I want, and I want to get down to 230. I will be fucking shredded at 230. It'll be nuts.
Probably gonna be looking like Eddie Hall.
I'm okay with that. Yeah. Besides, I've lost... Let's go to that for a second. I've lost a lot of respect for Eddie Hall.
You see everything that's going on between him and Thor?
Yeah, the bullying shit.
Jeez,
you guys are both talking shit. I feel like Thor's a bit of a pussy. But I do feel like Eddie Hall is kind of little bit of a shit talker.
Uh-huh.
What he considers playing around, other people get offended and they get irritated, right? I mean, Thor seems like a super nice fucking dude. He's like a nice guy. That's what he looks like. I mean, he's a monster, right? And he agreed to fight Eddie Hall. That's how mad Eddie Hall made him. This nice fucking Icelandic human being. You know, like, just, that's how mad you made him. And then, you backed out? You fucking vagina.
Who, Eddie Hall?
Yes!
After a split in or pull in, what is it?
Oh, whatever the fuck. You reschedule that shit. You don't just pull out. What the hell's wrong with you? And then what he said he's gonna fight like Logan Paul or some shit. Like, that fucking dude needs to get the hell out of here. I'm so irritated with that
He needs
guy.
to be missing some teeth.
I want to fight him. You know, I mean,
He's such a douche.
and I'm gonna cheat too. I'm gonna kick him in his dick until he passes out. That's what he needs. But I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm really upset with Eddie Hall. Like, and then to write that whole "I don't agree with bullying" and blah blah post. I'm like, you're a dick. I've seen you in competition. You know, talking shit to everybody. You know, you may be nice, like, behind closed doors or whatever, but, like, I've seen you in comp. You're a shit-talking ass. Which is one of the reasons he was my idol. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I would do if I was in that competition. Actually, I don't think I ever get like that.
No,
in comp.
you never do.
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
you support everyone.
I'm stoked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're like, you better beat me, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it just pushes you to go further, man. But so the topic today, once we get to it, I don't know how long we've been going. Oh, like 20 minutes is not bad. It's supposed to be kind of like relationship based, right? I know we've kind of hit a couple of these things. There's just a lot going on right now, at least in my life, that are kind of taking some turns. You know, definitely testing my resolve, I guess, in this marriage and everything. So, I mean, me and Martine talked a little bit, and I'm pretty sure I don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who hears it or whatever, right? I mean, it's, if you don't like the way I think or talk or whatever, fuck off. I don't care, right? Like, but so what we ended up getting to, it's been about 13 years of marriage, right? I try to treat my wife like a queen, right? Constantly. I tell her how beautiful she is. I like to get her stuff and all this other shit. Like, I really try to do that, you know, but I get nothing back. You know what I mean? There's no affection, there's no appreciation, there's nothing. And so I've been really trying to kind of hold this thing together. And after multiple other options, I tried to pull in this option of like another chick, right? Just as like a third. I know, that sounds bad. I know. I see in your face. I mean,
I'm like,
honestly, I don't want to deal with more than one fucking woman, right? But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, what if she just does the shit you don't want to? Right? Like, you don't have to fucking cuddle me and all that. I'm a cuddle monster, dude. I love touching and affection and all that shit. If you don't want to do any of that, I mean, maybe that's just not who you are. But she will, you know? Like, fuck it. Like, what's wrong with that? You know, but we had talked about it before and the whole open relationship, all that other crap. And the thing that bothered me was her biggest reason not to was because she didn't like the thought of me with someone else. And I was like, what a selfish answer. You know, like, so you're cool with fucking other guys. You don't want me to have sex with anybody else. Like, that's how this goes? Like, and that's the thing, too, is that I've been thinking a lot. We've been working on this a lot. It's really not about sex, man. It's really not. I mean, sure, I like having sex. It's fantastic, right? But it's more about, like, I need that affection. I'm a physical being. You know what I mean? Like, my love language is physical. So I need to be touched. I need to be hugged and kissed. I just want to, when I walk into the room, I don't want you to be frustrated that I entered. I'd like maybe a smile at least, or just, hey, you know, come up and give me a kiss or some shit. Like, all I get now is just fucking yelled at. As soon as I walk in the door, there's something to be yelled at about. Like, even if you got something to say like that, just say hi first. I came in a great mood. I'm trying to be nice and supportive and have a good time, and then you're just gonna fucking yell at me? Like, I mean, today, I just shut down all day today. Like, we were hanging out, and she just started yelling and trying to do her stuff, that she always does, right? And I just stopped talking. And she's like, what's wrong with you? Are you mad? Well, I'm like, I'm not mad. I'm just, you know what? I'm just indifferent. I'm done. So, I'd say about a couple weeks ago, I told her that I was done. I wanted a divorce. And I'm not the type that I did not ever want to get a divorce. I figured we could work through almost anything. But at the same time, I've been pushed that far, is where I'm at. 13 years of really trying to put everything I have into this relationship just to get shit on constantly. I'm done, right? And so at that point, she realized I was being serious because I was like, okay, so look, like, how are we gonna do with the kids, right? Like, you're a good mom, I'm a good dad. I don't want to like just tear these kids out of your life. That's not what I'm about, and I don't want you to do that to me either. And then she flipped the fuck out because she obviously realized I'm being serious. Mm-hmm. Then she says marriage counseling. I suggested that years ago, right? Like, I was like, let's work through this and make this better. But she didn't want to. But now that I'm done, now she wants to try. Right? And it's kind of like a little too late for that shit. You pushed me that far, you know? And then all of a sudden, now you want to give it a shot. And I even told the therapist lady, we've been to a couple sessions. I was like, what are you going to do? Like, I mean, I'm done already. So, like, what magic little trick are you going to pull into this fucking relationship to fix this? Because, honestly, for right now, like, I'm just trying to get a peaceful transition. You know what I mean? Because I still love her. Mm-hmm. Right? That's not going to change. She's the mother of my children. She's been my wife for 13 years. Right? But at the same time, I just don't think we work. I don't. And it sucks, and I hate to hear it, or even say it, but it's just, I don't know what else to do. I'm not just going to keep giving and giving and giving just to have someone just take. You know what I mean? That's not how this works. It should be 100% on both sides. That way, if somebody hits a 50%, that other person still got that 100. You know what I mean? So it really should just balance itself back out, but it's been a very one-sided relationship for a very long time. And no matter what I try, it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of where I'm at, man. Relationships suck. They're hard.
Well, they're hard, you know, and I don't know. You know, everyone has their... everyone lives differently, for sure.
Right.
You know, and... you know, we had our differences when me and my wife first got together. You know, there's some issues going around, and but I don't know, after, because the person I am, I tend to, it's not that I don't care. It's more that, okay, I do think more of her. So okay, I'm gonna, you know, decide, or I'm gonna go with what she says. You know, but doing so, it's opened the doors for times where I need. Or when I want to do something, and she's like, okay, because beforehand, you know, I've accepted stuff that she's wanted to do, or she's wanted to, or what she said. So I think after over the years, we've gotten to a place where I know my place and she knows her place, and like, you know, I'm the dad, I'm the head of household. I go, I work. She takes care of the house. She takes care of the kids. I get home. I have dinner. She makes dinner, and then I play a role as the dad at home. Take care of the kids. You know, do my side, which is I still clean. You know, she's like, oh, go ahead, go home. You know, go and sit and relax. You worked all day. And I get it. You know, and I want to, but I still want to help. I still want to do stuff, and I think doing those things, it's really helped me and her. You know, I mean, we haven't fought in a while, just because. I don't know, we kind of understand our positions in our family, and it's really helped us out, you know, but everyone has their moments. We're not perfect, dude.
Well, I mean, I just feel like after this long, I do know my position, right? Mm-hmm. And I do know her position, and the thing is that I let it get so out of hand, spoiling her and letting her kind of just do whatever the hell she wanted all the time, that my position is literally all of it. And she doesn't really do anything, you know? Like, I mean, she doesn't add into the relationship or anything like that. And it's a little frustrating. And to say that she doesn't do anything is pretty rude. Because, I mean, she does do some stuff, right? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying she's useless or anything like that, right? I'm just saying that, like, I guess comparatively speaking, like if I don't take the kids to like kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, all that other shit just doesn't happen. She's like, I'll just take them out of it. We don't have time to do it. We have plenty of fucking time. You know, like plenty of time to take these kids, keep them healthy, and make them stronger. And, or like, I got her to play zombies for Call of Duty.
Who?
Andrea.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And so she was playing, and she loved it. And then we tried multiplayer. Long story short, she's playing all fucking day, every day. And I'm like, bro, I'm like 3 times better than you, and you're like 100 levels higher than I am. How? Like, what are you doing? I come home, she's playing. I leave, she's playing. Like, what the fuck? Like, I know this is kind of weird, right? Like, most of the time it's the dude doing that shit, but it's like, do something.
Yeah.
Something. Like, just something, man. Like, I don't give a fuck, but...
You know, it's really funny. When you texted me earlier, when we were talking earlier about doing this show, and you said, I asked you what the topic was on, you said relationships. I was real close to like texting you and be like, oh man, I don't know that I can make it because, yeah, man, I'm going through some shit too, I told my wife yesterday that I wanted a divorce.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's tough, man. It's really hard because we got kids,
Right.
just like you said, it's. I'm not going to badmouth her in any way, shape, or form,
And that's not what I'm trying to do.
She's my
either,
wife, and,
right?
and I love her, right? She's the mother of my children.
Right.
But I realized that we just do not match. Man, we are oil and water to the 10th degree, right? And I was looking at my daughters, right, and I got 2 beautiful baby girls that I love. I would lay down my life for my girls, and I looked at them, and I was really just kind of doing some soul searching, like, what do I do as a dad, and do I force this for them because I'm not happy,
Right.
and to be 100% honest, I am not in love with my wife anymore. And that's just where it is, And I had to really... That was hard for me to admit, right? That was the hardest thing in the world for me to admit to myself. Was that... Because, as a dude, one of the biggest things for me is I hate failing at anything, right?
Right,
I need
yeah.
to be... I'm going to be successful at everything I do in life, right?
Right.
And you have this, like... This idea around you, right? Like, I've got this perfect life in suburbia with the family and the house and the cars and all this shit, right? But behind that door, man, you just don't know what's going on. And listening to you talk, man, like literally everything that you said, I'm relate 100% to that because I'm dealing with. You brought up love languages, I'm the same way, man. I'm a cuddler, right? Mm-hmm. I love physical touch. That's
Right.
my thing. I love to hug and hold my kids. I love to hug and hold my wife. I love to kiss her. I wish she would do the same thing, and she just absolutely refuses. She hates it.
Like it
repulses her, right?
Yeah.
And so then for me, I started taking that shit personally, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with me? Mm-hmm. What's wrong with me? Am I not attractive? Am I not? And then what that started doing was it started to cause these seeds of resentment to grow, mm-hmm. right? And I realized, like, I just let it go on. Like, I figured I can just ignore it. It's going to fucking go away.
Yeah.
Shit's going to be all right. We've only been married, 4 years? I got to the point where I started thinking about marriage counseling, too. And I'm like, just like you, I'm like, I am a broken motherfucker right now. There is nothing that person's going to do that's going to be able to fix how I look at my wife now. I don't think.
Right.
I really honestly don't believe that that's going to happen. And we started fighting over something so stupid. My puppy, right? My dog. And it was just, that was just literally the straw that broke the camel's back, right? Like you have that defining moment. It wasn't, by no means was that the catalyst. We're done, right? We're done before this. But this was just like, she comes down and she just starts bitching about how the house smells like dog pee, right? Because it's puppy. And then she lays down on the couch, starts fucking around with her phone, and goes, actually needs to go outside. And then she goes, oh, he's peeing. You know, and she like literally, and I'm in working, right? I'm working on, and I'm in my office and I'm working and I'm trying to get some shit done, and I'm like literally, you come down, you're gonna complain, and then you're gonna just allow it to happen, and I have to take care of this, right? And I get it, it's my dog, right? It's my dog, and I get up and I clean the mess up and I shampoo. She had shampooed the carpets before. We were supposed to have my parents coming over, and but. You know, I just looked at it, that situation, and I was just done. And I'm like, honestly, you couldn't even get up to open the door to let the dog out, but you're going to come down and it's just this real negative energy. And I'm an optimist, man. And and I personally do not do well with constant negativity. And you can call it realism, you can call it whatever the fuck you want. It's a shitty attitude.
Right.
Is what it is. Yeah. And you got to be able to see positives and outcomes in life. Otherwise, what's the point in living? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, you have to be able to make lemonade out of lemons when it's dealt. You know, and that's part of it too. You know, and it's just I just sat back, really thought really hard about the whole thing. Was like, you know, I'm done. I am done.
Right.
Here's my wedding band. Let's figure out the kids. You know, and then of course. I get like the next 45 minutes of just being talked at, you know, and that's the thing too is, man, I'm a person. I'm not educated, right? I've got a high school diploma. That's where I'm at, man. But I'm not stupid, you know. Right. So talk to me like a fucking human being, like I'm an adult. You know, I'm not a child. I'm not stupid. You know, just talk to me. Let's have a conversation. Without telling me the 100 reasons why whatever the issue is my fault. And okay, cool. You know, I mean, let's fix the problem. I can't take back whatever it was that happened, but how do we move forward, right? And that's kind of my approach with a lot of things. And I just can't be talked at, you know. I need to be talked to. And I think so. Relationships are, man. They're a real pain in the ass. They're really hard. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I am guiltless in this whole thing.
Absolutely.
You know, right. It is equally 100% half my fault that this marriage has failed. I will accept my share of the responsibility in that as well. Because there was a lot of stuff that I could have done. First of all, I sure as hell shouldn't have just ignored when stuff was going wrong. You know, when I first started noticing, you know, and just thinking, oh, this will get better, it's okay, this or that, whatever.
Right.
You know, fuck, dude, I don't communicate, right? Like, that's my thing. I suck at communication. I'll be the first person to tell you that. You know, we just couldn't figure it out. We couldn't figure it out together, how to communicate and how to work together as a couple. I hope, you know, I really hope. Now, the adage goes, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. I really hope that for the sake of our girls that we can still come out of this cordial and friends, you know. And I think we will. I believe that. But, you know, it's hard, man. It's hard.
Right. That's the only reason we're doing this marriage counseling thing too, is because, like, if you got some super secret trick, go for it. Let's see it. You know? But at the same time, like, I need this to go well. I need this to end well. I would never take my children from their mother, right? But you're not going to take my kids from me either.
Right.
And at the same time, like, I would still like to be able to invite you over for Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Like, my kids deserve to have their mom there, right? Even if we're both with somebody else, I don't care. That happens, you know? We just don't mix. Like, it's the same thing. I mean, I'm a communicator. I like the communication part, but she doesn't. And there's a lot she just doesn't get. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me to get an actual point or opinion across without her trying to take it personal.
That's tough, man. And that's where, I think you look at those and you realize, man, something has to change, because you have to have an equal voice. Both of you have to have an equal voice in the relationship, right? You can't have one person that just dominates every time, because what ends up happening, and at least in my case, from the experience that I've dealt with, is that it gets to a point where as soon as I say what I want to say, I shut down, because I just don't want to hear anything else. I want her to hear what I have to say, and I don't feel like I'm ever heard, right? So then it gets to the point where it's like, I resent you so much that I'm going to say what I want to say, and then I'm done listening. I'm done with the conversation, and I'm walking away, right? And then I become the hypocrite, because,
now you're not listening. Yeah.
And I'm not listening. But it all stems from the resentment that I have, because I know exactly how it's going to play out, right? As soon as, and you guys, you've been together long enough with your wife that you know when that fight's about to kick down, right? I can tell. It's like a dog reading a thunderstorm, right? Before it shows up, I know it's coming. And it's like it's going to be here, and it's not fun. So then immediately before the fight even starts, I'm already in my prep game. Then that's where I'm at in my relationship now with my wife. It's that shitty. Like I'm already preparing for the fight before the fight even starts.
Right.
And I'm just like, how can I throw the bigger dagger, right? Like what is my explanation point gonna be? And it's just a really shitty spot to be in. And I hate myself. I don't like myself. That's not, I don't like that version of me when we get there, because it's never good, man. Right. It's never good. You don't ever want to fight with your significant other and try to win. Right. Like when you care about winning the argument over resolving the conflict, I don't know, man. I don't know where to go from there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's a really shitty spot to be in,
It's hard,
and so it is hard. It is hard. I think pride does a lot with that. And I know that I carry a lot of pride. I'm a proud dude. But yeah, man, relationships are fucking hard.
Yeah. I think it's just at least in mine, I know that I feel like it's time to kind of be a little selfish, I guess. So with our fights, usually the way it goes is I shut down from the beginning when she starts getting real upset, and you can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Whatever you want. I don't fucking care. Just do it. Go for it. Whatever you want. And it's always like that. And now it's kind of like, I'm just to the point where I'm like, no. I don't want this. I don't want that. I don't want it. So, no. And it's become this stupid, fight thing. Because I think I've told you plenty of times. If she wants ice cream, and we don't get ice cream, she throws a fit all day. Like a fucking child. Like a temper tantrum. And I'm like, fine. Just do it. I just don't want to deal with it. Just do whatever you want to do. Right? So, I'm finally just kind of putting it down and I deserve to be happy too. You may be content and happy because you kind of just always win, right? I let you win constantly. But that's not the way this should be. That's not how this goes, man. I feel like that's the thing. I'm not trying to break up with her for somebody else or anything like that. I feel like it's the same thing, man. Oil and water, man. It's been long enough. I've tried enough that I feel like I gave it a good enough shot to just kind of sit back and be like, there's really nothing else I can do. And I can only control me. I can control what she's doing.
That's it too, That's it. Is you lot of self-reflection, at least for me, and just being able to control the situations that I'm in. It doesn't matter. How hard she wants to dig, try and. Parts of me wonders, is she trying to trap me into something, doing something stupid, saying something stupid, stuff like that. It's like, gosh. So a lot of times I just leave. I get in my truck and leave, and it's not worth it. It's not worth my time. Nothing good comes of yelling and screaming, especially in front of the kids. You never want to do that. And name calling, words, man. You can't take any of that stuff back.
Right.
You know, and that's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair to her. It's not fair to the kids, and certainly not fair to yourself to put yourself into those situations. And I think that, you know, kids make it really tricky. That's the really hard part. Is like, where do you go? Where do you go from there with the children, and how do you set that up? What does that look like? And you know, what's fair for you? Is it going to be fair for her?
Right.
You know, or is it going to be a situation where you see so many times that just out of spite, you know, to be a spiteful person, they try to remove the kids from your life as much as possible. You know, I dealt a little bit like that. See, the funny thing is I've been through this with my son's mom. And me and her get along great, and she invites us up for like her and her husband's daughter's birthday. You know, she invites us up. We invite her down. They come down and barbecue with us and stuff. You know,
that's how it should be.
We get along real well.
Yeah.
Now we didn't at first, but we do now. You know, and that one took a lot of soul searching and like, hey man, setting my pride down and really making it work. A lot different circumstances in that relationship with my son. We were never married, you know, and we were very young. A lot of partying and a lot of stuff that, you know, kids do and don't want to, you know, I mean, it's just a different world than where I'm at now. So we'll see. We'll see how this all turns out. I mean, I'm sure in 6 months this conversation will sound way different, you know.
Right.
But I don't know, man. I think it's great that you can get along with your wife, you know, that you guys kind of have that, you know, there's not that battle. You were talking about understanding each other's place, and I mean, that's shit, dude, that's rare. You know, now I feel like in my house there's this battle, this alpha battle, right? Like and my wife really struggles with not being in control of everything, right? I work and I'm the one who pays all the bills, but she wants control of the bank account, and I have a really hard time letting her have that, because that's like that's what I am.
Yeah.
You know, that's my identity to me in our relationship. And so, you know, I started looking at a lot of stuff like that and realizing, like, man, I wish I would have picked it up earlier. You know, because it got me to the point where now it's resentful. When she walks into the room, I'm like, what are you doing? Or, you know, I'm immediately on edge, like, how's she coming to wreck my day now? You know, kind of deal. And it's really a bummer spot to be in. It's like, man, I did not get married with the intention of resenting my wife ever.
And that's the thing
I'm there,
too, man.
You know?
That, like, I really want this to work. This is my wife.
Yeah.
13 years? I want to just throw that down the fucking drain? Like, that's insanity. If anyone thinks that that's the thing I would choose, that's definitely not. You know, we've gotten through some shit. And to finally realize that with the kids on my part, I was really struggling with that. So for a while, we've kind of been together because of the kids, right? I don't want to have a split household or anything. But at the same time, them seeing me and her constantly unhappy cannot be good, right? I mean, that's going to make them resent us.
Yeah.
And what kind of example are we setting for them? You should stay in a relationship just because you have kids. You deserve to be happy. You should be, man. And it's just, it sucks. It's insane that you're going through the same thing I'm going
I know,
through.
right? Yeah, I didn't expect that.
As soon as you started talking, I swear it was like you were speaking my life at home. Like, immediately, I'm just like, holy shit, I had no idea. You know, I
didn't know
you were going through it.
You were doing
it either. And so when you brought up, I was really like kind of. I mean, I had nervous butterflies in the stomach, kind of driving over here, like figuring out, like, shit, how am I going to approach this? You know, do I just lay it all out there and let these guys know what I'm going through, so I'm not sounding like a hypocrite? Like, oh man, relationships are great, and everybody should just, you know, be happy and sing songs and talk, you know,
right.
And everybody will be just fine. You know, that's not. I mean, unfortunately, that's not the real world. And, you know, I mean, I think that I'm in a place in my life, too, where I know what I want in a partner, and I think that it'll just make things a lot easier. I can't have any more kids, so I don't have to stress that element.
Yeah.
When like dating again and stuff, it's like I don't even know, where to start. But looking at it and just going, am I ever gonna be happy with somebody, or am I gonna die alone? Right. That's the thing. I mean, that's a real thing. I don't know if you ever worry about that or not.
Absolutely.
I mean, but it's like, if I get divorced, am I gonna die by myself? And then, I mean, it just kind of all hit me at one time, man. I think it's just like, you know where you're at, you know what you want, and I think it makes it easier. You don't have to worry about the whole kids thing. You have kids. I mean, if you can't have any more, so I mean, that takes that element out of it right off the bat, and so I don't know. I think it'll make it. I just think it'll make it easier. I'm in a better place in my life, more mature. It's, we'll see,
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's like, that's the thing. I don't even want to think about, like, going out and dating.
Right.
Right? It's, like, not even close to on my mind, because I know this is going to be fucking intense. But at the same time, like, I feel like it's the same thing. I know what I want.
Yeah.
I know what I want now. It's been long enough. I've seen enough relationships. I've been in this long enough. I know exactly what I want. And it should be out there, I think. Right? And if I die alone, I mean, I'll die huge. Right? A whole lot more time in the gym, I guess, but I don't know, man. Yeah. It's a pretty depressing podcast.
I know, right?
Sorry, dude. But I mean, that's the way this goes, and I feel like this is great,
right.
Because I mean, people need to hear the real shit.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of, like, all these people walking on eggshells around every little subject. But
well, you have the social media fantasy world, right? I mean, you had that girl that's all over the news right now that they found her body in Wyoming, right? And on Instagram and on Facebook and on YouTube, they were the epitome of a perfect couple, right? With the perfect life. And I think that what people need to realize and understand is that shit just doesn't exist. There's no such thing.
Right.
I mean, that's fairy tale Disney movie stuff, right?
Yeah, I feel like if you're not fighting, someone's very not okay. Like, I mean, if someone's just, like, ducking and hiding the whole time, like, and just kind of backing away, that's not good for them either.
Right.
You know what I mean? If there's not some sort of conflict or confrontation, we're human beings. We're not the exact same person. There's no fucking way there shouldn't be anything. But if it's constant, if there's that tension, as soon as they enter the room, like I said, I want to come home and at least be like, hey, how you doing? Not walk in and be like, so you didn't let the dog out before you left? I'm like, no, hello.
Yeah, hi.
How are you?
Yeah.
But it's nuts, man.
Yeah.
Well, I can see. I don't know if your parents. Well, your parents went through something, as that. But my parents are going through it at the moment. They're the whole divorce situation. But there's a lot more stuff that are actually happening with them. And it's happened over the years. And me as part of that child, that being there in that type of relationship, it started from very young, and I saw that they were there for the children. A lot of it was what it's for.
You'd think the kids wouldn't be able to tell that, but they can't.
Right. Oh man, I saw that. Since the very beginning. Since I can remember. I've seen it. I've seen the violence. I've seen all that stuff that kids should be seeing at that age.
Right.
And right now, that respect, because like you guys would like to have that person come to your house. Still have a good relationship. Me and my dad's relationship is totally done. There's nothing anymore there, because just the way he did it, the way that there was no communication, the way that he seemed to blame everything on my mom. It was what you were saying, 50-50, but he was trying to put everything on my mom. Everything was her fault, everything was this, everything was that. Saying, and he's perfect, he didn't do anything, he did everything for the family. But we saw all that. The commotion, all the those nights of yelling and screaming, and then just to point it at one finger that it was that one person. Now, that relationship between my dad, I wish I had some type of relationship, but just because of the way that it was done on his side, it really affected me. It affected all my brothers and sisters, and it's affecting me towards my brothers and sisters now because I don't know, because of all that. Just from seeing it, we used to be. It's funny, in the church, we used to be that family that was like, man, look at this family. I wish my family was like them because, my dad was working, my mom was stay-at-home dad. I went on a mission. My sister went on a mission, and my brother went on another mission. So we were looked at like, man, look at this family. They're really nice. Really, we were featured in the LDS website. We were on their front page and everything.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but people don't look. Man, look at my family now, dude. My mom's somewhere else. My dad's somewhere else. My brother was kicking my brother out of the house. I'm over here. My sister's over there. It's you don't see, like you're saying.
Well, that perfect family. I mean, behind closed doors.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you don't see that. Yeah.
And that's another thing is being part of the church and like what's that going to look like? And I think like I said, I've reached a point in my life where I just don't care. I'm not here to impress a group of people, and I am who I am, and flaws and all, right? And that's just what it is, and I think the happiness, my wife's happiness, my children's happiness is far more important than my image. It's far more important than my image in the church. It's far more important than my image in my neighborhood. It's at the end of the day, that's all just nothing, I mean, it really is. And continuing to work, and to work hard on myself and continuing to work hard for my family without my wife is still a priority, and so that's, I mean, those are things. My mom and dad got divorced after all of us kids moved out of the house, right? And my mom and dad say they fought a lot, and my dad worked in his shop at home, and I never saw my dad, and it's because my dad didn't want to be in the house. He didn't want to be around my mom, right? They just didn't want to be around each other, and so I grew up with my dad literally 100 feet away, and I never saw him, right? And that caused a lot of issues, just like, I'm still working on repairing my relationship with my dad. When they split up, there was a lot of finger pointing back and forth, and it was like, man, I don't ever want to be that. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that person. But being in the situation that I'm in now, I realize my dad put up with it way longer than I can. Right, and it's like that's why my dad was that way, was because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I get home and I park my truck in the driveway and I sit in my truck sometimes for 15-20 minutes, like I don't want to go in the house, it's like I don't want to go in and deal with it. I just don't want to do it, and so I run through a list of scenarios in my head that can convince me to start the truck and drive, and drive to the next job site and go see another customer, and that's not the case. I'm not like saying abandon my kids, but it's like I don't want to go in the house and deal with what's going on, and I really, I mean, I've hit that wall, and so that's tough, man. It's just such a hard spot to be in. So then, what do you do? I mean, what do you do other than just cut your losses and try and make it, as cordial as possible? I don't know.
I think that's the answer. You know what I mean? You just try. I mean, I know what I would like to happen. Whether it happens or not isn't going to be determined on me not trying my hardest to make it happen.
Right.
Right? I mean, it's a divorce, right? Divorces get kind of crazy. So, it could go nuts. But, I'm an optimist as well on most things. And, I think we can do it. I think we can handle this shit. Right? And that's why we're at the marriage counseling. Is to kind of transition into that cordial area.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I feel like I do have to point out the fact that I do feel like you're saying, oh, it's 50-50, all that other shit, and I feel like I've just been complaining. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, everyone always says, you know, oh, you're not the center of the universe or whatever, but I'm me. Mm-hmm. So I see everything from my point of view, right? So have I done things wrong? Absolutely. I'm a dickhead most of the time. I'm super sarcastic. Like, you know, if I don't like something, I just fucking ignore it or just, like, try to solve it as quickly as possible. You know, and that sometimes patience is key, right? So it's just, I'm not saying that it's not 50-50, right? It's just, I see everything from my point of view.
What's interesting too, Tyler, is I think for me in the 50-50 aspect is I can tell you everything she does wrong that bothers the shit out of me. And for me, looking inside at the shit, my own personal issues, and whether they're coming from her or they're coming from somewhere else, you know, and kind of getting psychoanalytical with it or whatever, you know, but I think that's what's allowed me to really be calm about my decision too. It's like, look, man, I got a lot of shit I need to work on. I'm a difficult dude.
Yeah.
I am a difficult dude. And I'm not, like I said, I don't communicate well. I get it, man. She doesn't like to hug. I don't like to talk. You know, it just doesn't work for us.
Right.
And that's really what it comes down to. Like, I'm looking at it and I'm going, okay, I have to accept as much responsibility in this just because 100%. I entered into the marriage the exact same, you know, and I have just as much responsibility in it failing, whether it was not addressing an issue that I felt like she needed, you know, that I needed her to address, or not fixing something within myself that she needed me to fix, you know. Right. Whether I chose to recognize that or not, you know, there's a lot of stuff. She'll come to me and I'll just tell her straight up, like, that was me.
No, that was beautiful.
But I mean, I'll tell you straight up, like, there's like, I'm just that kind of a guy too. Like I don't need to fix that. You need to accept that, you know. And so whether or not that's the case, whether that's right or wrong, that's debatable, right? In my mind, I'm right.
Yeah,
but
you are who you are.
in the eyes of our relationship, that's probably not the right thing to do,
right.
You know? And so it doesn't work. And it doesn't work because that's a part of me that I'm not willing to budge on, you know? Right. But I never took the time to work that out with her, right? So that's on me, because I never said, you know, I never took the time to look at it and say, hey, I'm not willing to fix that. So how are we going to get through that? You know, for me, I'm just like, screw you. You figure it out, because that's your problem, not mine. You know, but the reality was, it was our problem.
Absolutely.
And I just didn't take care of it.
Right.
You know, and that's on me. And I didn't take care of it because I didn't want to, or I didn't feel like it was necessary, right? I just didn't care. I didn't care enough about it to make it a priority. So, so that's where I mean, like, when on the 50-50 split, man, because that goes both ways. Right. She did the same thing, you know. And I think that, you know, in your situation too, I think it's a lot of that's you know, I think you'll find that if you look at it, there's a lot of that going on too.
Right. I do. That's what I'm saying. I do know that it's got to at least be 50-50, right. If not my sarcastic douchebaggery,
right,
doing most of it. You know, like, so I do completely understand, but it's that we go back to that thing, like, this just isn't working. Yeah. Like, I would love for her to find somebody that she was happy with.
Right.
That she wanted to be with.
Yep.
Someone that she was excited walks in that door.
Right.
Because I need that. And she deserves that. But I'm not that for her.
100%. You know, somebody who doesn't stress her out. Like, I'm always stressing Crystal out. There's not a day, like, the anxiety level and the stress is so thick in the house, you can cut it with a knife. You know, I mean, that's literally, and I don't want that. She doesn't deserve that, right? So whether it's me coming home and just wanting to watch TV, and her wanting me to, you know, take the kids and escape for whatever the issue is, who knows? There's a million of them,
right?
And it's not fair to her, you know. So I think that's what I'm convincing myself to think, right?
Right.
Making this thing easier, I guess. I don't know, because it's hard. It's really, really hard. It's hard for me to keep it together. Like, I just, you know, picking up Ray today and holding her And it was hard for me to not just like want to break down and start crying, because it's gonna be really tough. It's gonna be tough on them, and as any parent, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't want them to go through it.
You don't want your kids to hurt ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I was that kid that my parents hated each other. They would use me as like their little spiteful kick in the face. You know what I mean? So I was in the middle of like the worst kind of divorce situation ever. And that's what's super important to me right now, is that I don't do that to my children, because I lived it, and it was bullshit. It literally looked like neither of them wanted me, right? They were just using me as a way to get back at the other one, and it was like,
So hard.
it was garbage.
Yeah.
I hated it. I ended up disliking them both because of it, you know? I mean, they both handled it really weird, but anyways, yeah, deep shit, man. Deep shit.
Oh yeah.
You know, you put it together though. You know, that's one thing that impresses me, especially about you, dude, is resiliency. You know, and keeping shit together, figuring it out. You know, is that family unit is important. It's important to you. You know, that's obvious. So I think.
Well, it's pretty obvious about you too, man.
I think it'll stay. You know, I think that. Well, yeah, I don't think either one of us will let the relationship with our kids fail.
Right.
You know, regardless of the outcome.
Right.
That's it, man. That's the most important thing is the kids, for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't ever want to be that Disneyland dad. You know what I'm saying? The dad that the kids only see at Disneyland vacation. You know, I want to be the dad that's there when, you know, when my girl gets her first heartbreak. You know, I want to be the dad that's there when Mason hits his first home run. You know, I want to be the dad that's there at daddy-daughter dance, you know.
Right.
And I know, not just want to be, I will be present regardless.
Right.
And, you know, I'll fight to hell and back for that. That's the only thing. She can take anything else she wants. Just don't, that'll crush me, you know, just don't take the kids.
Right, and that's kind of where I'm at too, where it's like, you're a good mother, you know I'm a good father, like, let's not do that. Let's just agree to even 50-50 this. I don't care how you want to handle it, like, as long as we handle it evenly, let's do that, because in the same token, I understand the fact that I won't let that happen to me, but I wouldn't want to do that to her.
Right.
Make her hate me? Yeah. Like, what else would make you hate somebody, like literally hate somebody, than them taking your child from them?
Right.
So it's like, I don't want that. You know, she does her best, and that's all we can all do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, again, all we can do is try to make everything the best we can, and keep getting huge.
That's it. I might start working out at the gym with you, man.
Oh, yeah, come on in, yeah. Gonna have some extra time on your hands.
Gotta pump off some of that rage, you know what I'm saying?
I do.
Or even better at kickboxing.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, let's go to kickboxing. Punch some faces.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people who know, and people who don't, right? Like, I mean, they won't get it.
Yeah.
But there's never, especially, like, I feel there's never a lack of trying, right? I mean, if you just quit because you just don't feel like it, like you just don't want to bother, that's different. But if you're sitting there giving everything you got, and it's still not working, just call it what it is. Everyone deserves to be happy, man, and whatever the fuck that looks like.
Whatever that looks like, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's version is different.
Everybody's version is different.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want a harem. I don't want 30 women. You know what I mean? I would like just one that really likes me. Like, that wants me to be there. You know? Yeah. One that, like, yeah, kisses me because she wants me.
Right.
Thinks I'm super hot. Anyways, yeah, that got deep as fuck. We got anything else Relationships are hard. They suck most of the time. They shouldn't, I don't think. But I'm not quite sure how that goes. But all right, man. Let's. We're still not doing that game yet. Anybody got shout outs?
I didn't bring a shout out today either.
I do.
You got one?
Oh yeah, Tamara. Tamara. Now let me pull her up again. I do this every fucking time. Like I don't know. She's on Instagram. She's the plus size fit queen. And she just broke the world record for women on the deadlift. 636 pounds.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's insane.
Tamara Walcott. That's her name. But, dude, stepping into this fucking deadlift like a monster, like a beast.
Look at that, dude. Yeah.
She is fucking hyped. It is nuts.
Yeah. That was a crazy lift, dude. 600 pounds.
And it was butter. Right up.
Wow.
No pauses, no nothing. So, my favorite thing about world records is, you think she's not going to try to get stronger? You know what I mean? Like, fuck yeah, she is. She doesn't look that old. Right? I mean, that's cool. I love that shit. Because I know there's someone who was close to the world record who didn't get it, who's going to bust their ass to get it next time. To beat her. Right? And not just beat this world record, because now she's going to try and beat her own world record, because that's what I'd do.
Right.
I'd keep beating it until I couldn't anymore, and then just set the bar wherever the fuck it lands. Right? So, I love shit like that. Just like at the competitions we were talking earlier, like I'm not a dickhead at competitions, even though sometimes I feel like I want to be. I'm very excited to see people lift the amount of weight they do. And I'm not saying I like to be beat, but I do like that competition. It would be no fun if I just destroyed everybody, right? Being beat and winning back and forth or being close, that's where it's at for me. That gets me at the gym. That gets me fucking fired up. So, Tamara did fucking amazing. It was nuts. She's all over everything right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. All
Yeah.
the pages she's on there.
But, and for a chick too, 636, I mean, everybody... Oh, man. Damn it. Getting back to this whole thing, Andrea actually said, well, was it a real woman? And I was like, oh, come on. You know what? I gotta check.
So I gotta
like,
check.
I don't know.
We'll
Like,
see.
I'm
Yeah.
frustrated that I had to go back and make sure. But yep, big old titties, big old hoop earrings, big old thick thighs.
No
That's
Adam's
a lady.
apple.
No Adam's
No
apple.
Adam's
right,
apple.
right. And the titties don't look fake. So, she has some pretty revealing pictures on her Instagram. So I'm pretty sure they're real. But yeah, it's a little weird that you'd even have to ask that question.
Yeah.
Right.
Is it a real woman? Yeah.
Hey, it's gone there, man.
Right.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was a tested league or not. It was a world record. I doubt it was tested.
Yeah,
There's no
no.
fucking way. 636 for a chick is crazy.
Yeah. Well, there was that. Who was that? That redheaded one. She was in the suit. She got what 575 or something like
In
that.
a suit?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it was lighter weight though, but
Right.
it wasn't. It was what's it called? It wasn't. It's tested. Yeah. Yeah. You go.
Oh, it's tested.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
tested.
yeah, that's different. But, yeah, man. All right, well, thanks for listening. Again, I'm Tyler Toby Townsend.
I'm Brandon.
Martin Geronimo.
All right, man. We'll kind of close it up. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I really am going to try to get a little more active on this shit. I say that every fucking time.
It's just a reminder.
But I got to do it. You know what I mean? This was starting to even take off a little bit, and so we got to keep it going.
Yeah.
If you guys are down, we'll just meet again next week, and
Yeah.
Perfect, man.
yeah. All right. Is there anything else we're supposed to say?
I know our goals have been there for a while, but I don't know if you want to check on those by the end of the year.
Not really.
What did I do? You what? 15 sales now?
Actually, sales have almost hit a stop these past couple months.
Oh yeah. Jeez.
I'm going through a lot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
and the thing is, I'm putting so much energy into it that I'm like, all I have to make is 10 contacts a day for me to be on track for over $100,000, and I'm not. 10 contacts? Like, that's fucking ridiculous. Like, how can you not make 10 contacts a day. Like contacts, like just conversation.
Just call, right?
Right, and then that's all I need, and I'm not doing it. Like, it's irritating. I did it yesterday. I went through and did fucking 40 of them. Bam, I got like 6 more leads, all this other shit, and like, now I'm going again, right? But, yeah, I've been doing it for months.
Man.
It's not good. It's stupid. My pipeline's empty. I mean, you know sales, so
Yeah.
pipeline's empty, but still, I mean, it's we're doing fine. It's not a big deal. It's just I gotta get back on it. I don't want to spend all the money, you know. Fuck, I'm kind of glad I fucking trashed that truck now.
I was gonna ask you what's up with your child. Did you get that all squared away?
Yeah. We ended up getting a check for it, and I don't think I'm gonna get another one right now. I want one really bad, but there's nothing under 40 grand worth it.
Fuck, dude. Good luck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know what I want in a truck, right? Like, it ain't none of this $20,000 fucking truck shit. There's no way.
65,000
want
right now,
300,000 miles on it?
No 300,000, and it's not gonna be a fucking Ford Ranger.
Right.
That's for damn sure.
Diesel? What are you going for?
No, I don't think diesel, but I do want a 4-door long bed. I do want that. I mean, just a monster of a fucking truck. And I don't even mind if it's the pushed out wheels one. That'd be sick. But I want to be towing shit. I'm super sad. I got a fucking trailer out here. I don't have a truck anymore. Hook it up to the Mercedes. Why not? Anyways, yeah. Thanks for coming. You guys have any questions, anything like that? Get a hold of us. Yeah, let's see who listens to this one.
Let's see what we get on
Super sad.
Right, comments and stuff.